What's up? Tekken 8's roster has been partially leaked due to a data mine of the closed network test. My boy Yoshimitsu is there!
PC players that were using community-made scripts for a cheat engine were able to reveal the names of some of the initial roster. Notably, Kuma seems to be missing. That's the bear that has been in every main Tekken game, so that's disappointing. But hopefully it's just an incomplete list.
Welcome to NecroNews, the show where we recap the hottest gaming news from the last week. Remember to like and sub if you want to keep up to date.
Oh, and by the way, here's the roster so far. I don't see Lei Wulong, so yeah, the roster's probably incomplete.
If anyone remembers New World, you'd know that Papa Bezos hasn't had much luck with Amazon Games' own titles. The smart thing you would think is to thus avoid all controversy with any other games they publish.
But this is Amazon we're talking about, and they're no stranger to controversy. They just so happen to be bringing an anime MMORPG to the West, so of course the logical thing to do would be to censor the game to hell and back, which they did.
Fans data mined the game's beta and found that when comparing the Western and Japanese trailers, there were far more modest costumes in the Western version of the game. Franchise lead Mike Zadorjany, I think I got that, even admitted in December 2022 that there would be a few minor differences between the Japanese and Western versions.
He went on to state that the main reason for this is to get a teen rating. While there are certain things that needed to change for the rating, all gameplay elements like bosses, open world experiences, and such are the same in all versions.
But of course, in a separate interview that same month, he added, "We're making changes specifically for the Western market. We want a design that suits Western players, and we're finding our own ways to satisfy players."
In February 2023, Amazon Games' head of marketing, Sarah Anderson, stated, "What we believe is important is to respect the vision of the developer and the creator of the game. That's important. But how do you make those adjustments and culturalize it? It's been a really interesting challenge. A challenge that they apparently failed."
Fans have noticed, from the preview footage of the Western version, that the game doesn't have a jiggle button in the character creator anymore, and the small body type has been removed completely.
Okay, but I understand the jiggle button being removed. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
Speaking to Blue Protocol DB, Zadorjany explained, "I think censorship comes in different ways. The level of censorship is usually where we find disagreements within the community. When we're talking about censorship for BP, we want to bring up Shimuka-san's vision for the game for the Western players. However, there are layers we have to think about from a cultural, legal, and regulatory perspective."
A minor aside, to our knowledge, there's no developer-made content in Blue Protocol that would be deemed illegal in the West, and if there was, it would be unlikely that Amazon would localize it at all. So despite insisting that they wanted the content to be one-to-one, Z-Man emphasized they wanted a T rating, and that anime games are much more approachable for the teen market unless you start going towards certain extremes, which this game does not.
Zadorjany admitted to the character creator censorship and making less revealing outfits for petite characters. These are the type of things that are culturally accepted in Japan and which they do in their titles. However, in the West, it can be uncomfortable for our players, and that's where we step in to say, hey, can we make a slight change?
Which, if it was a slight change, that'd be something. Not removing the body type altogether, not removing the jiggle physics. Honestly, you know what I think would have been a good way to go about this? A toggle. Just give us the option to turn it on or off.
A toggle button's stupid because other people would still see it.
Yeah, well, that's above my pay grade. I don't want to figure it out. I just want to tell them to give them a toggle.
That's a dumb solution.
I am but a dumb ghost.
While this may not come as a surprise to anyone who plays Blizzard games, they've continued the trend of not allowing any mods in their games, and this time for Diablo 4.
Blizzard issued a warning stating that anyone using game-modifying programs for Diablo 4, such as Turbo HUD, will be permabanned. While we were recording, we found out that the Turbo HUD 4 website had been taken down and the project had been ended. Shocking. Also, apparently the dev ran off with the money from everyone who bought a monthly license, so that's cool.
Interestingly, Turbo HUD's only purpose is to give you more information on screen, so it's probably safe to assume they don't want any mods that could prevent you from messing up any of their predatory UI patterns, like the Activate Battle Pass shit that they had last week.
I wonder if we'll hit 200 by the end of the year.
Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV? With an expanded free trial which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 for free with no restrictions on playtime? Well, it'll be updated with patch 6.5 to include the Stormblood expansion.
This was just one of the many announcements from the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest, which started recently. One of the biggest announcements, of course, being the newest expansion, Dawn Trail, which will be launching in summer of 2024, taking players to the land of Turul, which is going to be a city of gold, so you can expect a lot of Aztec and Mayan stuff, and there's some reptilians in there. Good stuff.
The expansion also raises the level cap to 100 and adds 2 new jobs, 1 melee DPS and 1 magic.
Yoshi P teased what one of the jobs could be with a shirt for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which, okay. Speculation is rampant, with a lot of people guessing it's going to be like either an artist or a shapeshifter or someone that wields a nunchuck. We don't know. But some people think that the Warrior of Light had a sword and a gun, so it could just be like a pirate or the Corsair class.
There's also some quality of life updates for the base game that'll come alongside the expansion, including a graphical overhaul, new Gold Saucer content, a strategy board to plan your raids around boss mechanics, being able to use 2 dies on gear, and wearing glasses and a hat at the same time. Amazing.
Finally, the game will be coming to Xbox Series X and S in spring of 2024, and we'll have a crossover with Fall Guys. Why?
Because everything has a collab with Fall Guys. In short, 2024 looks like it'll be a good year to be a fan of Final Fantasy XIV. Maybe it'll also finally be the year that I actually start playing Final Fantasy XIV on stream. Though probably not.
We here at NecroNews pride ourselves at having a higher standard than some other game journalists.
That is exactly why it won't stop us from mocking them. You see, a certain few outlets had the bright idea of using AI to write their articles and guides. Since of course AI is flawless and never makes mistakes, and it can never be tricked.
Of course, like many companies, many of these AI outsourced gaming sites don't understand the internet, and that the internet hates losing out on money and jobs. So the boys over on RWow came up with a devious plan.
Step 1 is to create a new character, Glorbo, a fake gibberish feature or boss that is insanely difficult to beat. Step 2, create a strong narrative with fake flame wars, fake factoids, and pepper in a little truth. Step 3 is to get Destiny 2 subreddit to join in.
And of course, Destiny 2 went full force with it. Some people fake screenshots of the Bungie Twitter account saying they have released a new patch addressing Glorbo's difficulty. Others have had legitimate flame wars over the ease of Glorbo and that you just need to get good.
What was so great about the app was that whatever Glorbo actually was changed from post to post. Some say it's a super hard new raid boss, while others claim it's a randomly spawning enemy encounter that steals your inventory, or just a rare game-breaking glitch.
As you can imagine, Glorbo was everywhere on Twitter and Reddit, and finally, it happened. The Portal, an AI gaming site powered by Z-League, picked up the story and ran it as actual, factual news.
Amazing.
I love the internet sometimes.
While this last story isn't technically news, or even from the last week, it only just started making the rounds, and we thought it was interesting enough to highlight.
YouTuber Gurium Red made a set of videos, which are linked down below, where he noticed that if you ever looked on a site like Glassdoor, you'll see that the Gamefreak company does really well in regards to employee reviews, but weirdly the positive were listed as stuff being the game will sell well, which is true given the success of this piece of crap, but that of course didn't sit well with him, because what kind of a review is that?
So he cleverly used Japanese workplace review website Job Talk and found several consistent complaints, their overall score being 2.94 out of 5.
We're not going to go into the full detail, but a few things are the company is understaffed considering the scope of the games. There's frustration on making the same thing over and over again, I knew it. Staff are inexperienced and no one learns anything new thanks to long hours and lack of project variety.
This can also explain why the newest games have been a broken mess. But if you want to watch the full video, the link to them is down below.
My question to you guys though is, have you ever seen a job review or other insider info for such a reputable company this negative?
Hard mode, no Blizzard.
Man, look at all these games coming out!
There are so many games to choose from. Anyway, this week's Buried Alive Banger, a segment where we cover games that our community doesn't think has had enough attention, is Stuffo The Puzzle Bot.
That's right, Stuffo The Puzzle Bot is, you guessed it, a puzzle game, and a damn good brain tickler. Your job is to get Stuffo from his starting point to the exit using whatever he can grab and place in the limited spaces available. Experimentation and trailing ideas is key for the game, and it's very satisfying when you actually solve one of them. It's pretty good, about 12 or 14 hours for 100% completion, so give it a shot, it's only $10.
And here's our schedule for next week. We'll be doing more Bloodborne and uploading another video this coming Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. Sunday will be Booster's birthday, so we'll be doing something special, probably. But we'll be doing a big celebration theme with my birthday, his birthday, our anniversary, and a partner celebration on the 19th of August.
Yeah.
So book that on your calendar and don't miss it. It's a quadruple whammy.
And that pretty much wraps us up today. Let us know, again, if you have seen any job review or any other insider info for a gaming company as negative as the stuff for Gamefreak. And of course, if you want a chance to vote on which news gets featured in our videos, join our Discord. Until next time, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.